So it's summer, it's a really hot day today. We've got a friend's birthday party and we're going to do some salads and then we're going to grill some meat over the fire. So that's the idea for today. So what I'm going to share with you is just some really simple, easy summer salads that are nutritious, healthy, and really, really yummy. So we're going to start off with one of my absolute favorites, which is celery, pineapple, and mint salad. And that is literally all that goes into it. And I promise you, you're going to love it unless you really don't like celery, which my brother doesn't. All you do, I have washed this, and then you just cut tiny little pieces of the celery. So as you get down to the bottom, you might want to just have a look and see if the celery needs extra washing down here. You may not want the end bit of it. If you don't, then just keep that bit and use it for a soup or something. So you can just use the top bits and then use the rest for a soup or a veggie paste or whatever. So I'm just cutting the very bottom bits off and they will go on the compost. I think that end bit I will actually just leave and stick in the freezer. And next time I make soup, I'll just take that out and use it. Pineapple is the next ingredient that's going to go in. For those of you who have never cut a pineapple, I'm going to show you how I do it. There are various ways of doing it. So I normally just cut the top off to start with. And if you're doing a party that could be like just decoration on a fruit platter or something, then cut the bottom off. And then I just go around and cut the skin off. You'll have to see that there are always these little browny bits there that you might just have to go over afterwards and go in a bit deeper. So once you've taken the sort of outer skin off, the easiest way to get the best bits of the pineapple is to cut them into quarters. And then we'll just take that middle bit out. So you'll see where the line is here, where the sort of tough core of it is, and we're just cutting straight down that line, which leaves you with sort of a quarter piece like this. And then all you do is chop those into little pieces, and they go in with the celery. And you do that with all the 4 pieces you've got there. See, I mean, that was quite a big piece of celery, so the sort of ratio of celery to pineapple in this one is probably going to be more celery than pineapple. So depending on what you like, you might want to use more pineapple than celery. We are just going to put mint in, but obviously if you fancy, you could put some feta in or some halloumi pieces. So again, be creative. You know, if you want a bit more substantial salad, you could put some protein in the form of quinoa or some buckwheat or something. Right, so all you then do is you just mix it up. You can use your hands, or if you fancy, you can use a spoon. I like using my hands, they're washed. And then we're going to go and get some fresh mint from the garden. So you can see here we are coming sort of, you know, to the height of summer. So the mint is starting to look not the freshest, so actually cutting it will encourage new growth. So do keep cutting it so that you guarantee having fresh leaves even into the late summer. Otherwise they're going to go all dry now and will start not producing as much and start flowering. Keep cutting as much as you can with all your herbs. The more you cut, the more you're going to get. There you go, there's our mint. And then just across here we've still got some marjoram flowers. Again, you can see the leaves turning yellowy now, so it's the end. We're coming towards the end of the summer. It's kind of middle of August. But we're gonna, for this particular salad, just use a few of the flowers on the top. Again, where we're cutting, we might get a bit of new growth so that we can harvest marjoram a bit longer. I'm leaving the majority of it because I love having the flowers for the bees at the moment. So I've not cut it. There's a lovely little bumblebee there. Gorgeous. Cool, so we'll go in and give them a wash and finish the first salad. So obviously, if you haven't got your mint growing in your garden, then just go and get a packet from the supermarket. They're about 79p or something, and All the herbs are actually really, really beneficial for your health. You can, if you do have a windowsill, which most of us have, just buy the plant pots in the supermarket and just keep them on your windowsill. If you cut the herbs off, they will start regrowing. So go as low as you can. Above the sort of lowest shoot is where you want to cut, and then you'll see there'll be new growth starting to come through. And if you're lucky, just from a pot that you might buy for £1.50, you might get a whole summer's worth of mint. Fresh mint supply to have in your drinks, in your cocktails, in your tea, or in your salads. So we're just taking the leaves off now. And while we are doing that, obviously it takes some time to take these leaves off individually. If you can, connect to the plant and just say thank you. Thank you for growing. Thank you, Mother Earth, for providing these beautiful leaves for us so we can have a nice, tasty salad. And just say thank you to the mint plant for living alongside us and sharing its flavor.
It's from your garden?
No, they're from the golf club. At the golf club we have the greenkeeper. The old greenkeeper was way ahead of his time and planted lots of fruit trees on the golf course. So we are now in the lucky position, sort of 20 years on, that we've got an amazing number of apple trees and plum trees and like walnut trees on the course that are just there for members to pick, really, if they want to. So I'm German, and in German there's like a special plum jam called Pflaumenmus, and it's a roasted plum jam. So what you do is you halve them, you put them skin side up into like a casserole dish, and you put them in the oven on about 160, 180 for about 2 to 3 hours. And what happens is they slightly burn on the top, and they cook. And because I don't use sugar, I've then just added cinnamon and agave nectar into it, stirred it all up, mushed all the bits up together, and that's what I did this morning first thing, and then put that into little jars. And I've just got the jars in here actually now. So it makes, because the plums are roasted and slightly burned, it makes a really dark plum jam, really. So it's a roasted plum jam with cinnamon and agave, and it's absolutely delicious. It's my absolute favorite. There are quite a few trees, like sometimes in parks as well. A lot of the councils now are planting fruit trees just for people to use. Like my local council in the park have created an orchard just for the public, so you can go when the fruit is ripe and just help yourself. I love that.
Amazing.
Yeah, and if your local council hasn't got it yet, why not go contact them and suggest to do it? Be the inspiration. So I grew up in East Germany, and alongside the sort of tracks by the fields, there would be plum trees and apple trees and pear trees, and they were just there for the public. So you would just go, everybody could just go and help themselves and use them, and share. The community would share what they had. So I've got one of those herb cutters that you can buy. I mean, they're not vital. If you haven't got one, just use a knife. But they are quite good to just go over your herbs and chop them. Or if you do have a kitchen machine, it might be even quicker to do it in that and just throw it in and chop your herbs in the machine. I quite like doing this. It's good fun. And the good thing when you're not using a machine and you are doing it by hand is that you can put consciousness into what you're doing. And just as you're sort of cutting them, imagine channeling love and gratitude into the food, because that will enhance the energy in the food, and at the end of the day you will then eat that food. So that love and gratitude that you're putting in will end up in the cells of your body.
One thing I do love about this is the aromas of it all.
Yeah.
That mint smells amazing.
It's so good, isn't it? Yeah.
That fills the kitchen up.
And it mixes really well with the flavors of the pineapple and the celery. So we'll put that in now. And it's so simple and quick and just yummy. So a quick spoon to just work that in. And there is our salad. And we're just gonna put a few of those little flowers on the top just for decoration. And salad number 1 is done. So the next salad we're going to do is a broccoli, apple, pepper, and pine nut salad. I'm going to use the Thermomix, that kitchen machine that I've got. Again, if you have a normal kitchen machine, just use that. If you don't have any kitchen machine, just use all the ingredients and chop them up really, really small. Put in broccoli salad. I love this machine because you do just put in what you want to cook and the recipe and everything is in there. Right, so we just follow the ingredients here, but we will put the recipe underneath the video. So we've got 300 grams of broccoli florets. So this is organic broccoli, which I have washed, and we're just gonna literally cut the florets in there. I put these bits in as well, like if you've got what are they called? Callum, what do we call those?
Stems?
The stems. So just stick them in as well. Or cut them up if you are chopping them, you can chop them. I keep those bigger ones and I use them again for veggie pastes or in soups or whatever. I'm going on holiday tomorrow, so I'll probably, together with the celery, just throw them into a bag and freeze them. Next time I'm making a soup, I'll just chuck them into that. So nothing goes to waste. I think so. We've got 300 we want, so there you go, a bit more. 1 red pepper. With the pepper, you halve it, you take the bits out in the middle, make sure the seeds come out, and then with this particular machine, all I need is some quite chunky bits. Obviously, you can just cut them all very small as well, if you're doing the cutting version of it. 1 apple, peeled and cored and quartered. So I'm actually not going to bother peeling them. They are organic apples that have come from Riverford, so I know, they're not going to be covered in pesticides, so I'm going to leave the skin on. 30 grams of pine nuts. An absolute powerhouse of nutrients, but they're quite expensive. So if you don't have pine nuts or you can't afford to buy them, just substitute the pine nuts for sunflower seeds, or just leave the nuts out altogether. So that's the last bit. I've only got 21 grams there, so I'm going to add a few more sunflower seeds into that. 25 grams of olive oil. It's probably about maybe 3 tablespoons. 15 grams of cider vinegar or white balsamic vinegar. And so I'm going to use apple cider vinegar with the mother, organic, unfiltered. 1 teaspoon of honey. I'm going to use agave because I haven't got a honey open at the moment and we're going on holiday, so I don't want to open one. So we'll just use some agave instead. You can use any natural sugar, so if you've got some date syrup or some maple syrup, just replace the honey. Some people are allergic to honey, so again, just use something sweet. 1.5 teaspoons of mustard. And 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt. I use rock salt, and what I do, because these are pieces, they are crystal salts, is in a little coffee grinder. I kind of grind some of the salt, because if you buy table salt, they've got a lot of anti-caking agents in there. So I tend to avoid buying them, and I just use the rock salt and put it in a coffee grinder and just grind my own and then keep it in a jar. 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper. And now we're going to put the lid on, and the machine will literally in 5 seconds mix everything and chop it. And there you go, there is a nice broccoli, pepper and apple salad. There you go, salad number 2 done.
That looks beautiful. If you are what you eat.
You are what you eat.
That makes us beautiful.
And we might get some flowers from the garden and just put those on for decoration.
Yeah, always. It's extra beautiful.
So I'm just looking, we've got some some calendula flowers, which are actually really beautiful. Look at those. So I think we're going to take one of those. And there's some pansies still left there as well. So we'll take a selection and they can be decoration on the salad. Oh, and cosmos we can use as well. I'm going to do a beetroot salad as well. We've done that recipe, and we can put a link into the separate video that we've done for the beetroot salad. So all of these are edible, and these are nasturtium flowers as well. So again, they are edible and they're actually really yummy because they've got a sort of quite a sharp, almost mustardy flavor to them. So all of those, look at those. Oh, we're going to put on as decoration onto our salads. Oh, I just love it.
Me too, I was waiting for that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Ta-da! Amazing. Right. Next we're going to do just a plain green salad. What are those called? Any idea?
Lettuce.
Just a lettuce? Okay, so we're just going to give that a wash and then just very roughly chop that up. Now, I personally really like, in the summer, having salads that mix salad leaves with fruit. So that's what we are going to do with this one. So I've got some pears, and in the fridge I've got some strawberries and some blueberries and stuff. So we're just going to put those on, and then we're going to make a dressing. This is my absolute favorite dressing, really easy again, which my grandmother used to do with sort of just green summer lettuces, and that is just a dressing out of lemon juice and honey. And we're going to drizzle that on the top. So this is some pear going on now. And I'm just going to halve those. And in addition to obviously having that sort of sweet flavor in your salad, it also adds a really cool color to it. You get that contrast between the yellows and the greens and the red. I'm going to stick some blueberries on as well. And then what I'm going to do to just add a few more nutrients onto it is we'll drizzle some sunflower seeds over that and some pumpkin seeds. And to make the dressing, we've just got some organic unwaxed lemons. So you can now sweeten that with whatever you've got. So my grandmother used to just use sugar. You can use honey, you can use agave, you can use maple syrup. I'm just going to use some agave and a mixture of agave and maple syrup now because that's what I've got. And just taste it. You probably want maybe about 50-50 as a dressing. If it's too much, you can use the rest of it in a tea or in a drink and just dilute it with some water and enjoy it as a drink. I usually just give that a quick taste. Yeah, that's lovely. So I think because the party isn't until another hour, I'm going to leave that next to it and we will drizzle that over the salad just before we serve it, because otherwise your leaves are going to get all soggy and it's not going to be very nice. So salad number 3, done. And again, if you want to serve this as a main meal, this would work really well with either some roasted salmon or some chicken if you're not vegetarian. If you are vegetarian, you could put some halloumi on top of it or some feta cheese or something like that to make it a full meal. You could even put some quinoa again or some buckwheat or something in and have it as a full like whole food salad and just add those things to it. So be creative with what it is. I'm just here inspiring you. Do your own stuff. Add to it whatever you like. If you like mango, you like peaches in the summer now, just put those in. Yeah. We've got the flour, so we're going to put that in the middle there. Ta-da!